Hey you guys, so my name is Madeline and I'm going to be talking about some of the awkward things that tweens go through. Specifically looking at tween girls, I'm going to be looking at how to deal or how to cope with getting your period for the first time. I realize that this is sort of an awkward topic and it's sort of taboo, but it is important that you guys have the necessary tools to know how to cope with getting your period for the first time so it's not as awkward as so it's not super awkward, and obviously trying to talk to like a teacher about it or even your friends can seem sort of intimidating, so I want you guys to be equipped with the knowledge and the tools that you can use every day or whenever you get your period. So I got my information from a variety of different sources. So me, being a girl and having gone through that stage in life, being a tween, I have my own personal stories, and I also got some information from my mom. She is a teacher. I believe she teaches grade 6. So she sort of has an inside idea of what it's like to be a tween and what tweens are going through and what you guys are going through. And then I also got some information from the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, just because I want to be super accurate in what I'm like showing you guys or talking about. I don't want to provide you with any misinformation or false information at all. I want you to have a good idea of what's happening to you. So according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, getting your period for the first time is actually the first start of puberty. So your body's going through these hormonal changes, and it can be a little awkward, but knowing how to cope with getting your period for the first time is going to make the experience less awkward. You will find different changes in your body after you get your period, but this is totally normal. And just keep in mind, like, every girl who's an adult has gone through exactly what you're going through, so you don't need to worry about, oh my gosh, like this just feels so awkward and I feel so not at home in my body. And that's just letting you know, like, every girl has felt that at some point, and it's completely normal. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you guys know, that's right, some of the things that worked for me when I get my period and when I got my period for the first time. So one of the things that I did was I actually carried around like a little sort of bag that I put in my backpack. So I'll grab this. So it looked like this. It was actually a little bit smaller. This is like my new and improved one. For this one I put everything that I need in it. I've got my makeup, I've got, feminine hygiene stuff, and just whatever I really need for the day. But when I was a tween, I would actually just carry around like a little type of thing and only keep feminine hygiene stuff in there. So so this is like sort of a starter kit for what you need for when you get your period for the first time. So even if you don't have your period and you are a tween, I would actually really recommend putting a bag like this in your backpack and having it full of stuff that you might need if you do, by the off chance, get your period. Because you never really know when you get it for the first time, okay, well, I'm going to get it in a couple hours. Like, it just sort of happens. And I'd like to note, too, that when you do get your period for the first time, it is not like this intense, wave of emotions. It's literally, you'll just spot a little bit and that'll be it. You don't have a heavy flow. It's not, like you're gushing blood. It'll just be like spotting. So you won't need to, grab like a Super Plus or anything like that. So don't be afraid of that. Anyway, so I'll just show you what's in this bag. Okay, so in the back here I have got pads. These are pads, they're a little bit thicker, and then these are liners. Okay, so depending on how heavy your flow is, I'm assuming for the first time you'll probably want to go with a pad, even if you are super light. Just, it gives you that security blanket in case something happens. Or you're, this is something that you're not familiar with and you are uncomfortable with for sure. So like to have something a little bit thicker will give you sort of that security that you are looking for. So yeah, so this is a pad, and what's great about these guys is that they're super easy to apply. It's not like you're, you know, like sticking a tampon in there for the first time. And also, yeah, so I'm gonna note for that portion, I do have tampons in here as well. When you get your period for the first time, I'm gonna actually suggest that you don't use a tampon the first time unless you're super familiar with it, you feel really comfortable, you've been educated, then yeah, go ahead. But if this is something completely new to you, I would actually suggest sort of refraining from using a tampon the first time, just because for me, in my personal experience, when I got my period for the first time, I didn't know how to use a tampon, and so then I attempted it and it did not go well. So I mean, it wasn't that bad, I don't want to scare you guys, but it just like was uncomfortable for me, and so I don't want to make this experience for you more uncomfortable than it needs to be. So a pad is just super simple. You're just going to take it out. I'm just going to do it. Like this. And then it's got two little flaps in there. And you're just going to take these flaps and just like fold them over your underwear. So it's really easy, and then after that you're done. Like, then you just go about your day and you don't have to worry about anything leaking. So this, you can get any type of pad, it doesn't really matter. I would suggest getting a little bit thicker, because like I said, it's going to give you that security. So another thing that I have in my pouch that's related to sort of getting your period and stuff is Motrin. So honestly, you don't have to have Motrin. You can have Advil, Tylenol, whatever you want. Motrin just works the best for me. Yeah, I would keep a little bit of Motrin or Advil in your bag, just in case that you feel any sort of, oof, I'm really pale. Just in case you feel any sort of like cramping or anything. You don't want to be more uncomfortable than you already are. So this will sort of alleviate some of the pain and cramping that you might have. So another thing I want to note just quickly is, again, when you're using a pad, this is a new one, but when you're using a pad, I would switch it out every 4 to 8 hours, or whenever it starts to feel uncomfortable, but even before that. So, yeah, just make sure you're exchanging it every 4 to 8 hours, and you should be good to go, because otherwise it gets uncomfortable, and it's just not a pleasant feeling. So that's just something to note. And also, these ones are pretty big. I'm sure you can get ones that are a little bit smaller but still thick. These are the ones from You by Kotex. And yeah, like, honestly, like, at the end of the day, nobody is gonna look at you differently. I know for me and my friends, when we were going through this, we were convinced that everyone knew that we had our period. So, but in reality, unless you tell someone that you're on your period, nobody really knows and nobody really cares. So just keep that in mind. Like, it's something that all girls are going through or have to go through, and so it's just important to realize, like, yes, your body is going through changes. Yes, like, it's something that seems really almost alien to you that this is happening, but it's completely normal, and you'll be fine. And if you have any concerns at all about, you know, like, if your period is really heavy, or maybe you just like are unsure about something that's happening within your body, then I would definitely just like go to the doctor and just have a chat with them, just to make sure everything's okay. Okay, so I think that that's all for my video. I hope that this video was informative for you guys, and I hope that you're sort of equipped with the tools that you need to, if this were to happen, you know what to do. Yeah, just keeping a little pouch around or in your backpack or whatever is really gonna help alleviate some of that stress. So I would suggest doing that. And honestly, like, going to the store and buying tampons or buying a pad before you even get your period is really gonna help you not be as stressed for when it actually happens. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and enjoy.